Hey guys, welcome back to Dead Man World 10 and welcome back to LEGO Harry Potter years 5 to 7. This is another free run gameplay showcase video, and on the last episode we showcased Ginny Weasley, and now on today's episode we'll be showcasing the one, the only, Snape. But not only that, Snape in his underwear! And yeah. So basically, the abilities of Snape he has Reducto, Expecto Patronum, Furis, one or the other, the Aquamenti spell, Luminous Salom, Defendo, and Wingardium Leviosa, and he could possibly be able to interact with dark magic, I don't know. I may be confusing it with LEGO Harry Potter years 1 to 4, but where Snape could use dark magic there, but I think he has that ability in this game, or game. But either way, those are his abilities. This is the normal Snape, as you can see. He looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot. And then here's Snape in his underwear, which is meant to depict the scene from when Snape was younger and had a run-in with Harry Potter's dad, James Potter, along with Sirius Black and Remus Lupin, where all three of them were bullying Snape, and Lily Potter told them off and such. That's what this version of Snape depicts, basically. But anywho, there's his jumping, by the way. And yeah. Information about Snape. He gets presented as kind of an imposing figure, and he gets portrayed as kind of a bad guy, but he's not actually a bad guy, and there is a reason for that. Basically, a long time ago, when Snape was in Hogwarts, he got put into Slytherin, but before then, he drawed his ire at Lily Potter, who just so happens to be Harry's mother. So, they basically form a friendship, but Snape wanted more than that, and that was to be in a relationship with Lily, but due to his dark arts and dark magic stuff, that never came to fruition, and basically he got put into Slytherin, and yeah, they were sort of separated, but Snape still got to be friends with Lily over the years, and based on that, formed a close bond with Lily Potter, but like I said, thanks to his dark arts and dark magic, they never got into a relationship, and therefore Lily falled for James Potter, who was a bully, but then knew the error of his ways and decided to change his attitude and obviously do what he did do, and that was obviously be a good person, and therefore he won the role as head boy along with Lily Potter as head girl. I believe that's what it was. But anywho, so that happened, and then basically after that point, once Snape is being bullied and Lily tells him off and everything, Snape, throughout all of his rage, called Lily a mudblood, and therefore ended their friendship, and it stuck with Snape for the rest of his life, up to his death. And basically, what also occurs is when Snape and Lily first meet, Petunia Dursley is actually around during that, and therefore calls Lily a freak, which she later calls Lily a freak again, many years later, when Harry is living with her and Vernon Dursley, along with Dudley Dursley, after the Potters' deaths, that being James and Lily's, by Lord Voldemort. So that's all going on. And then Snape and Lily Potter basically form a friendship from here on out. And yeah, like I said, that quickly ended when Snape called Lily a mudblood. So yeah, that stuck with Snape, obviously. And then many years later, when Lord Voldemort would kill James and Lily, he stepped over his enemy James and comforted what was left of Lily, and Harry was only a baby at the time and he was 1. And therefore Snape technically got to meet Harry in that moment, but it was never like face to face, hey, my name is, you know, that kind of thing. You know, introducing yourself. It was never that. So basically that's all going on. And then what occurs is 11 or 12 years later, Harry, after living with the Dursleys for all that time and stuff of that nature, ends up going to Hogwarts, and Professor Snape draws the ire of Harry. Well, Snape draws his eye at Harry and therefore protects him for the last 7 or 8 years of his life, and therefore abuses Harry and his and Hermione and Ron, but also protects Harry at all costs. So therefore that's basically happening throughout Philosopher's Stone, when Professor Quirrell, who turns out to be Voldemort, just cursed or possessed. So basically, while that's going on, Quirrell is jinxing Harry's broom in Quidditch, and then Snape runs in, to the shock of many and to the surprise of many, runs in to save the day and does a counter curse on the jinx. So that happens, and then Chamber of Secrets. Well, I think in I know that he was defense against the dark arts teacher at some stage. Actually, I don't think it was at that point. Yeah, it was in Half-Blood Prince where he was the defense against the dark arts teacher, and then that stopped once Dumbledore died, because he couldn't live with the guilt of himself killing Dumbledore, that being Snape who did it. So yeah, that happens. But yeah, in Chamber of Secrets and, you know, Prisoner of Azkaban and such, Snape is still being obviously a professor and still having this grudge over Harry, where he's either saving him or abusing him. So that's always happening. And then Goblet of Fire, really, it continues, really. And yeah, and then in Order of the Phoenix, Snape is basically helping Harry to control his emotions due to everything that had gone on with him during the first 4 movies and then during the 5th one. So he's doing that, but doesn't quite get the job done. So therefore that doesn't end up really happening. And then Half-Blood Prince, like I said, he kills Dumbledore, and he delivers a killer line that basically depicts him as a human being, and that's the fact that he's not a coward, despite Harry calling him a coward, even though he wasn't. That same guy who was protecting Harry for like the last 5 to 6 years up to that point, and then in the end 7 to 8 years of his life, the last years of his life. And then Goblet of Fire part well, not Goblet of Fire, but Deathly Hallows Part 1, nothing much really goes on with Snape, really, other than him working with Voldemort and everybody secretly just to get information from Voldemort about Harry's whereabouts. I can't even speak words now. About Harry's whereabouts and so on, and therefore get secrets from Voldemort, and then in the end he's still helping, obviously Harry and his friends. And then in Deathly Hallows Part 2, he eventually ends up having a run-in with Voldemort where he would later die. And based on that, he would, well, like I said, die. And his tears were basically memories for Harry to put in a bottle. And therefore he would find out the true Severus Snape. And yeah, so that happens, and then he delivers the iconic lines to Harry before he dies. His last few words were, "You have your mother's eyes," because Harry's eyes are apparently the same as Lily Potter's, Harry's mother. So had he not died, he probably would have gone on to talk about his relationship with Lily Potter, as in his friendship with her, with Harry. But then obviously he died, so it was up to the memories and the tears to do, well, the talking that Snape couldn't, because he was slowly but surely dying after having a very, very gruesome death. A very, very gruesome death. And therefore Harry finds out about the memories and everything, and therefore calls Snape one of the bravest wizards, or one of the bravest men to ever walk the face of the earth, or maybe the bravest man to walk the face of the earth. I can't even speak now. So that's pretty much what he calls him, and then therefore Harry names his kid after Severus Snape and Dumbledore, who were the big real protectors during his time at Hogwarts, Harry's time, that is. So basically, that's basically what occurs in the origin, really, of Snape. So yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, then like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, favorite videos. If we could get up to 60 likes, that'd be great. And yeah, ciao guys. Or ciao guys.